to another story time with Frankie. I'm going to continue the Frankie Meets Frankie story. This is to be part 2 of, I'm not really sure how many parts. I've done a little more background work, and I thought I'd let you guys join me as I filled in the bottom left cell. So we'll get right into it. This is in a scene where he's in the basement and he's trying to repair this scary furnace that I've got there, and giving him a little hat. And so now I've kind of done a sketch, and I've faded out the background so I can see it a little better, and then now I can kind of turn off the background, and I'll use my own sketch as a beginning, and go to my ink pen, and we can just start drawing Frankie. Now I've also sometimes will turn down the brightness so it's a little easier to see, and we'll just start doing Frankie. And I'm using a vector image, as we've talked about before, and the advantage is, like that line there that I intentionally went past it, you can do that and just make it just cuts it off right at the edge. I want to do his hat, his hard hat. I wrestled with what kind of color to make his hard hat. I ultimately settled on a form of yellow. My niece Neely, she suggested purple. I did try purple, but it just didn't seem to look very construction site like. So I went with the, I guess, a traditional yellow. That would be the underneath of his head, I guess is the right word. Like I said, I intentionally draw these lines past where they're supposed to be so that I can cut them off. Hope everybody's doing well today. I'll give you a little book news while we're drawing. The latest book just got released called Teddy. It's available now on Amazon. And it's about a little bear that's left behind on a park bench. And it's a story of faith. And he hopes his owner will come back and pick him up. And all the other animals are telling him he should just give up. But he holds true and waits. You have to read the book to find out if it's got a happy ending. But come on, it's a kid's book. It's got to have a happy ending, right? I'm drawing in the... I really don't know. Somebody could chime in and tell me what these are when the side of a fire hydrant has got these little indentations on the side of it. And I've always included them in my drawing of Frankie. Right about now I got kind of the layout of it. I can turn off the pencil underline, and it makes it a little easier to see what's going on. And I start cutting off the extra lines. Once again, if you're using a vector image, you can do this. A vector is just a fancy way of saying that the lines are computer generated, and that they will be, you can blow them up, make them larger or smaller, and they will look the same. If you use the other type of image, it will you lose its shape as you blow it up. But in my instance, I like to use it because of what I showed you about deleting the lines. Now here's the bolt on the side of his hand. I kind of use it as Frankie's hand. It's the side of a bolt. Take out the extra lines. Here's an example. I want to show you something else that this program can do. We can simplify the line, hit a control point on the end, and connect it even though it originally wasn't connected. Same thing here. You can pull these lines over and connect them. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it can make a difference. And there's his hand. If a fire hydrant had a hand, I suppose that would be it. Whoops. That's something else it'll do sometimes. It'll race too much. So you just go in here and the ends and pull them back. Now we'll draw the other hand. If you're wondering what that and what this particular thing looks like, so you can get an idea, is I know that erased that other line I didn't want it to erase, but it's okay. I can draw it right back. The this little hand thing, I'll show you right quick. It's like the end of a bolt. It's a hex shape. If you laid it on its side down here, it would look like this. From those different lines. See? Something like that. Now I'm going to show you a quick way to erase things. Draw a line around it. Polygon like that. It brings up this dialog and hit that for delete. Fancy way to delete. Alright, we got our lines pretty much in. I see an open spot right there. See that? Oops, I'm in the wrong dialog. Change back to my ink pen. There we go. Got another open hole right here, don't we? And we'll get all those holes boxed up. When you go to fill it with color, it'll show up. His left arm is a little bigger than usual. I think we're going to bring it down. Y'all can see how I change things. We're going to bring his arm down just a little. I think it's a little bit big. I know it's bigger because it's closer to you, but I don't know if it should be that big. Another beauty of using with vector lines, you see how I just grab the line and move it? Can't do that with normal lines. So all we got to do now is extend those lines on down. Get a control point, grab the end of it, pull it down. There we go. Let's erase the extra. That looks a little better. Alright, now we can create a raster layer underneath it. And that is a typical layer I use for colors. And about 3 more minutes. I'm trying to hold these videos to 10 minutes. Alright, we'll get a red color. Go to our color picker. Frankie's red, of course. And we'll drop in the color. Pretty much, yeah, that's got it all there. Then we go to a little darker color. That's a little too dark. There we go. Nope. That sometimes happens. We probably got a hole right there that's probably bleeding out. You could figure out where the hole is, or you could highlight it like that. And then just, that highlight doesn't go out for some reason. Not real sure why. Probably won't see these, but I wanted to put them in there. Something else, when you're drawing like this, you got to remember that you've got a white background. You don't want to use the background image. You want to be sure that these transparent, that we actually put color there. So we got white, white. Then we go to black. Get his mouth. Do you understand what I was talking about there? The transparent layer. We're showing nothing but transparencies now. And so we have to put in our color. Let's go up here and make sure our color of our hat are the same as before. Not sure why that's not coming up. Why is that not coming up, guys? I got it chosen on the wrong thing. Wrong thing. There we go. I must have had it highlighted or something. Maybe I'll watch this back later and I'll figure out what I did wrong. Did the other color? Because it's underneath the hat, it'll be a little darker down there. Now let's add my favorite part is the shadows. So you can go back. A lot of times I'll duplicate the layer and then hide that one. And then that way I'm doing the changes on this layer and I can go back and get the other layer. So we'll highlight the hat, choose the darker color, go to a much darker yellow, use my airbrush, and now we'll put the shadows under his hat. See a little darker right there at the very bottom. Where it comes into his head there. Let's see if we can do a little bit up here too. And go to that same thing there. Same thing there. Alright, now let's see. I want to hit the side of that. Let's go to lock transparencies. What that does is it lets me run the airbrush here at the edge, and you notice it's not going off to the side there. It's because I've got the transparencies locked. Now let's do Frankie. Let's get the darker shades, and we're getting close on time, I'm betting. Yep. I'm just going to add in the shadows into Frankie as you've seen me do before. Let's zoom out, and before y'all have to go, we'll turn the transparencies back up, and that's what he's going to look like in the scene. He's going to discover the scary furnace, and then now he'll be looking to the reader, and he'll have some dialogue right there. Anyway, and that's what we're working on today. This will be part 2 of I'm not sure how many parts, but thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Thank you much.